Well, at least the sand people are dead. That's something, I guess. I said I would give this series one more chance, but you have failed me for the last time. All killer, no filler. Oh, it's killer alright. A killer disappointment. Remember when they promised us this would be more brutal and gritty than The Mandalorian? Let's put it this way. The action climax of Chapter 3 ends with the stupid Twi'lek guy pulling a Biff Tannen and running into a fruit cart while he tries to escape from a gang of Twilight cyberpunks. I haven't seen a low-speed chase this boring since The Last Jedi. It's that bad. This is definitely the Disney plush version of Star Wars. And I say plush because everything is softened and harmless. This is the softened, harmless Boba Fett. They tried and failed to soften up the Sand People, and now even the Rancor is soft. Rancors have feelings. They are gentle creatures that are only dangerous if they feel threatened. The formula for every episode in this series is simple. Boba Fett is confused about how being a crime lord works. He walks around town for a bit and is insulted by a few people. Someone tries to kill him, and he does nothing about it. Then he gets back in his Bacta tank and dreams about sand people. That's pretty much every episode of this stupid series so far. But before I go any further with my rant, I want to thank the real MVP of the Empire. I'm just happy to be a stormtrooper, Adam Jordan, for his generosity. I greatly appreciate your donations to the channel and all of your support you've given us over the years. You're a true friend of the channel and a hero of the Empire. And so, it is with great pride I confer upon you the Distinguished Service Medal for your faithful service to the Empire. Back to the show. Our story begins with Boba getting a rundown on the various factions that control Tatooine and why they challenge his authority. This type of world building should have been handled in the first episode, but instead, they waited until we're nearly halfway through the series. Boba's mafia lesson is interrupted by a water merchant, who informs our would-be Don Boba Fetto that a gang of street punks are stealing his water. When Boba confronts the wicked wayward teens, they insult and disrespect him repeatedly. But while Boba from Empire Strikes Back would have made sure these brats were eating lunch through a tube for the next few weeks, Disney Boba admires their pluck and hires them as his bodyguards for some reason. Seriously, these losers are gonna give cyborgs from Tatooine a bad name. Whose idea was this? We could have had Boba hire Dengar, Bosk, or any of the other classic bounty hunters, but no. Instead we get Pippi Longstockings and a Go-Go Gadget hover-round gang. It's like someone saw a group of annoying hipsters driving around a Walmart at 4 in the morning on those old people's scooters for a TikTok video and thought, that's what Star Wars needs. And another thing, these punks are complaining about having no jobs and no money, and that's why they're stealing water. But later on, they brag about how much money they've spent on their body modifications. Not only are they disrespectful and annoying, they look like if the CW tried to make a leader. Their stupid space rascal scooters look like something out of Valerian or the Fifth Element. The visual aesthetic is all wrong for Star Wars, and they are much too clean and trendy to be some poor kids from Mos Espa. I used to live there, you know. Now, I was all excited to see Boba and Black Chrysanthemum, or whatever his name is, throw down at some point on this show. But I wanted to see Boba fight in his armor. The answer to Boba Fett, boxers or briefs, was not on my or anyone else's Star Wars bingo card. Now, to be fair, waking up to an angry space squatch yanking you out of your bed and beating the poop out of you in your underwear would be disorienting for anyone. So this is one time I can understand Boba losing a fight. But the fact that he needed to be rescued by a bunch of wussy Ghost in the Shell rejects annoyed me to no end. Also, if they're his new bodyguards, they're pretty crappy at their jobs, because how the heck did that big walking carpet even get in there? Is he some kind of ninjuki or something? Another thing about this whole fight sequence that doesn't quite add up. At one point Boba is thrown right into his weapons rack. And what does he grab? A flamethrower? A rocket launcher, perhaps? No, a gaffy stick. Now, Boba clearly has experience fighting Wookiees in the past, since he used to wear Wookiee pelt braids. So why wouldn't he grab his blaster instead of a melee weapon? The only viable answer is painful in its simplicity. He's an idiot. The following morning, the Hutt twins show up at his castle and are like, "Yeah, I know we sent a Wookiee to kill you last night, but we're leaving now, so no hard feelings. By the way, here's a pet Rancor. And speaking of no hard feelings, it turns out Boba Fett, the most ruthless and fearsome bounty hunter in the galaxy, is really a forgiving sort with the heart of gold, because he decides to let the Wookiee go free, after just, trying to murder him in his sleep the night before. As much as it pains me to admit it, I honestly haven't hated a piece of Star Wars content this much since I saw Solo. This episode was a return of everything I hate about Disney Star Wars. From the constant disrespect and undercutting of Boba Fett, and the obnoxious cyberpunk bumper car gang, to the gentle Rancor with feelings. All I can say is, when compared to The Mandalorian, this is not the way. A gritty series about Boba Fett navigating the underworld of the Star Wars galaxy practically writes itself, but they couldn't even manage this. I find their lack of creativity disturbing. For now, I am closing the book of Boba Fett, unless I see on Twitter that something phenomenal happens next week. We're nearly halfway through this series, and I haven't enjoyed a single episode. I was looking forward to this show with great interest, but it's been such a bitter disappointment to me personally. And I genuinely feel bad for Tamora Morrison and Ming-Na Wen, because they deserve material that is much better than this. But those are my thoughts on Chapter 3 of the Book of Boba Fett. Maybe Episode 4 will be a new hope for the series. Only time will tell. This has been Vader Reviews. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. And follow me on Twitter, @Vader Reviews. Join the Empire today. You do not yet realize your importance. Share these videos, and together we will rule the internet. And always remember, you don't know the power of the dark side.